Alrighty. Have a good one. I'm serious. If the city's got an old cell phone though, I'll bring my old stand and we can set it up. Oh, Robin was concerned online that I don't put unbiased work up. Uh-huh.
It was all set up for that other building. This other building over here. It wouldn't work in our other building. So stuff has been ordered. The electrician has cameras to put up, has the system to put in, but they're just overwhelmed because it's the electrician from New Jersey.
Okay.
And they're down craftsmen, and so it's on their list.
Right.
It's
and that would be
happen.
nice to get it like finalized, but I'm saying in the interim until it is installed all the way through.
Well, we have the owl, but
I saw that little setup. It looks like a little tower.
yeah,
with the big guy on it.
but people say they can't hear as well on it. So
That is the situation I'm dealing with as well as subpar audio.
yeah, that's where we get more complaints about bad audio than we do about not having it. You know, people are constantly, why are you even having it? You can't hear it. You know, so we can't win for losing.
I totally get that sentiment. I really do.
And I didn't mean to offend you. It's just, I feel like, because I've watched your videos, and there's people like, oh, well, how come that person didn't get what you do? It's cut them out. Because you can see where it was cut out. It's like, let's be fair.
Oh, so sometimes I would be limited on a time restraint of what I could put on YouTube. So sometimes I do have to put out a few minutes
But a lot of
to
them
make that
are,
time
people that have important things to say for the, and I'm not trying to slam you or anything. I just feel that both sides need to go get one. I don't know if you follow the.
I'm curious what conversation.
I would have to go back. I'd have to go back and look. But I mean, you can literally see where that person is walking away, but maybe that person was never hurt. And it was important. Like, I'm sure you saw on Facebook the 12 bullet points that they put out there. And I tried to answer as honestly as I could. And if I couldn't get the answer, I didn't make anything up. I told the truth. And even that, people went off on me. It's like, I am just telling you the truth of what I have experienced. I'm literally there. I'm in the middle of it. These people that are posting this stuff, they're not there. They're just posting to be posting, to stir the pot. And you know, it's no fun. I love my job. I love my coworkers. These people that don't even know any of us are just dumping stuff on there just to have fun. And it's old. And then people say, well, you shouldn't post. But if we don't post, how are you defending the truth?
I mean, I do not envy any of the positions. I do not. It does come with a lot of heat and a lot of weight to it. You know, commenting on some conversation about you, Mr. Dunn. Right. Apparently somebody flipped off and yelled at one of your employees recently.
Everyone interprets things differently when you write them, and
I always say, and what I got from the response was not a threat.
I was just trying to say that basically, they didn't. If they flipped me off and yelled at me and said they want to recall me, but they don't even know me because that wasn't me. Maybe I need to go to their house so they know what I look like. But I mean, I could see how someone could have maybe got that, but that's not what I meant. But that's,
either way, I think I said it online. I'll say it to your face. I think you could have taken it on the chin a little better.
Yeah.
And he admits that.
Yeah.
He posted later admitting that.
Yeah, I just my customer called and said that wasn't very professional. I mean, you guys at my house. So I was frustrated because now I'm dealing with a customer that's pissed off because of my other job as a council member is interfering with my services as a business, and they're like, this guy's trying to do service at my house, and the lady's screaming and cussing, and it's not even the person. So I was like, so after I read that, I think what I meant to say was maybe I need to go over there so she knows who I am. She can yell at me all she wants. I don't mind people yelling at me, but not my employees.
They didn't go after my husband's business. That has nothing whatsoever to do with any of this. But
I'm sorry to hear that, honestly.
Oh, he gets handed jobs for the city all the time because I work there. No, My husband did jobs for the city way before I worked here.
Okay.
Way before. He has done one job for this city since I've worked here. But he put that entire playground and got that entire ground ready and got paid nothing.
You're involved on it.
Every hour he
That's
put in.
awesome stuff.
But people don't want to hear that part. You know what I'm saying? I'm emotional about this because I'm really frustrated with how people are acting. I'm born and raised here, Newport Hospital. This is my hometown. These people that are not even living here, Depot Bay, you know, what do they have to say?
I don't know. But I don't live here. I live in Newport.
I know exactly where you live because I ate at the restaurant, looked out my window, and you were doing a garage sale. And I actually wanted to take my phone out and say, do you know what the code is on how many garage sales you can have in the city of Newport? But I didn't do it to you.
I'm going to guess it's less than 2. After that, I am going to have to start looking it up.
But I did not do that to you.
No, you would be perfectly within your
But I
rights to
wouldn't.
come
But I
up.
wouldn't. We're not assholes.
You might walk up to tell somebody, hey, you might want to look into the code.
Yeah.
You know, not a big deal. I don't care, but
And that's not the point. It's just I
for
thought
your
it was
safety.
funny that hit my head. It's like I can't be that person. You know.
And, you know, I am trying to understand a lot of the larger issues. Because I don't live here, I'm not as invested in the sidewalks, which are a big deal, and it's for this
For
community.
many years, we tried to get that done, and we just kept losing the bid by a couple points because it goes on a point system, and so you had to, you know, keep doing it, and so yeah.
And
we
I don't
were-
want to ever take away from the good work that all of you do. I don't want to take away from
Right.
that. I came back when you first saw me.
Right.
But they brought you in. You
No
were.
one brought me in. I saw there was enough
But it's
noise on.
convenient that you were there with Teresa. You know,
Would-
at the exact same time.
Would you like to know how there was enough noise going on Facebook that I saw a random post in the Newport community page that there's drama in Waldport. I had already had a history of going to city council meetings and recording and trying to promote government accountability and transparency. So when I saw that, I'm like, that's right up my alley. Let's go see what is going on.
I can give you that, but coming,
I had no contact with
coming
anyone.
in with Teresa at the exact same time to video her handing in things, that's so pre-planned. And that is all organized.
They did ask. Oh, you're talking about that. Okay, I'm talking.
I know the original.
The
I know
first city
what
council
yours-
meeting. Okay. After that, yes, people have reached out to me and would like to do that. I am open to requests for anyone. If anyone wants to do an interview, I'm not going to shoot him down. I have to work around time, but I'm not going to shoot you down. I don't want to be one-sided here. Maybe I don't have the best skills in reaching out, but I'm not going to turn you down. Okay. Where was I going? But I do have one issue, seriously, with the city management, okay, and that is the anonymous public request.
Yeah, you've made that very, very clear.
So I did look that up because I was confused. So I guess it's customary for cities to get names and all that. I don't see where it's like a mandatory thing, but cities have their own rights to do.
It's customary, just like the forum for public comment today.
Right.
You ask for addresses and
Right.
phone numbers and everything. I don't put that in.
Right.
It's not required. It is just commonplace.
Right.
Okay. So yes, it may be commonplace to request names and addresses and phone numbers for a public records request. And I will say, Mr. Cutter twisted words there. Legal name is not in the statute. A name is in the
And
statute.
he admits that. If you had, this is what his words. If you put down Joe Smith, that request would have been accepted. But you put nothing.
I did not put nothing. I put concerned citizen.
Well, that's not a name.
So you just put rebel with a cause. You could probably,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
I put one in with Rebel with a Cause, and that one was denied.
But
Or
that-
maybe that was the one he was trying to charge me $4,000 for.
That was such a list of things, though. That was a huge list. That wasn't just, if you came in requesting
I
one thing.
wanted the complaint letters against him, his salary, and his contract with the city. 3 things.
I honestly wish the complaint letters against him were out.
Yep. And that's something where
I really.
I want to wait till Heidi's here because I want to see
She's
what.
not going to want him out there, but I want.
I
him
think
out
they should be, but it's not right to bring it up until she's here. But I think they should be out there along with his responses so that people see.
I could say it could definitely be argued that there's enough community interest to warrant that just being released to the public.
As the person that takes the blow a lot over those, because I opened them and stamped them, which is my protocol, 100% my protocol. I've done that for over 9 years with every piece of mail that comes through there. The only ones I have not opened where we were selling something and it was a sealed bid. And as long as it said sealed bid on the envelope, I was not allowed to open those because it all had to be opened at the same time.
Okay.
Because I could have leaked the price.
Right. You don't want to give different competitors.
Right. But on that date, I opened those. I was the one that opened them and put them all out. It's protocol. And that
If you ask Claire will tell you same way. She'll get a letter addressed to her. It gets opened, stamped, and scanned to all of them.
And think about
It's just it's something that.
Now, I haven't had the time recently to look into this, but I've heard that in the Waldport city, in your guys' code for the city council, if a letter is addressed specifically to the mayor, then it's supposed to go to her or the mayor, whoever that be.
you heard that right on Facebook, right?
Yeah. It does have to go to the mayor.
I'm asking people that would know. I'm not running with it.
Went right in her box.
Yeah. So
I
what?
stamped it.
And then it gets scanned.
The
It
scan
goes right in the box.
went right in the box.
So she
just
has to
didn't
get
want-
any letter.
She just has a check to the
So I guess the point I'm wondering about is scanning it to the city manager who the complaint was about when it was addressed to the mayor.
Normally,
Yes.
it would have been scanned to Megan. And Megan would have sent it out to city council. Megan has 3 different week-long training classes that she has to take for 3 years. So she goes to Washington to this city recorder class. And happened to be that week that they all came in. So number 2 person that would go to would be the Dan to get them out to all the councils. He put them all together and sent them out to all the councils. Even Heidi.
So you're saying there was kind of a couple of system failures that led to.
There's the first person and second person. The first person was there, so it went to the end. But even that, if Megan would have got them, she would have scanned them. She would have scanned them to Dan and us all at the same time.
It would have gone to all of
and it
them.
has to be on our server, so we can. And that's what we brought up to Heidi. So look, everyone got them at the exact. Dan got the letters exact same time you got the letter. So, and then we all got them. So yeah. It is. They have to be given to the mayor, but they have to be scanned in.
Okay.
Basically,
But
she
the
can't
hard-
have nothing that we can't have.
The
'cause-
hard,
obviously.
copies did go. The scanning and everything. She has hard copies. Just like it's supposed to.
And I guess one didn't. She said she was missing one, and that was Karn.
But we all knew that because Karn had posted on Facebook.
Yeah,
I
he
got
sent it.
mine
He sent it
back.
to our address and not the PO box, so
He
it got
said, "Why did
returned
I
to
get
him.
these back?" I honestly answered it. You might want to use the PO box. You know, the post office is not going to deliver at our address.
Right.
But no, the letters are something that we want to address. I think they should be put
People
on.
would see exactly where they came from.
Because that's what we did. I mean, it was a hearing process, and we need answers. So get his answers, and we looked at the complaints, looked at his answers, and complaints, asked him questions. It's like 2 hours long. So I think those are important. Those should be out there. So.
The difference was how they chose to have her. She had the same options.
Right.
She wanted her public, and he wanted his executives, and that's their choice,
right?
Yeah.
So, but no, I think they should be out, and I don't think that you have a problem with it, but I think it would answer a lot of questions.
I think
people,
so too.
People get to see actually the complaints, and they'll see that.
And they could also, it'd be nice to see there was a group of letters that came in on what's happened with my complaint.
Right.
There was information in those, what happened to my complaint, that proves how wrong these complaints were. People that wrote the letter here wrote more facts in here. It's like, oh, okay, now we know all the truth,
And then a lot of them aren't complaints. They'll just say, "I don't like Dan. He's mean. He's rude. I don't like him." What? So I mean, what exactly? What are you saying?
Well,
So-
for people wondering what happened with their complaint, I have to ask.
Yeah.
Did you ever see mine? It would have been about anonymous records request.
I don't know if we've seen that. I haven't seen that one, no. So that never, I don't know if that went to council. I couldn't remember.
How did you send it?
In person.
Okay, then.
Do you know what month that was?
Oh,
So I can
yeah.
look back.
Yeah, he did write it out by hand in the council area there. I
Okay.
remember that.
Do you know what month it was offhand?
Not off the top of my head. I'm bad with dates.
Because then I can go back and look at the council minutes. And that's what I tell everybody, you know.
Oh, I thought maybe it was
Go back and
growing
check. Go back and check council minutes because, you know, it's like Justice of Waldport, 5+ years of complaints. You go onto our website and look at all of our meetings. No complaints. Under comments, no comments. I mean, we'd be lucky if we had one person show up. I mean, it was that
Yeah,
dead.
our
Until 2024, boom, and then that.
Our
We didn't have
meetings-
5 years of complaints. I mean, it never started until 2024. I mean, our meetings lasted
Well,
maybe 30
that's
minutes.
not true. You had Berwyn Heights. There were,
And Rita.
Well, to that I would say, you know, things would go unnoticed until they aren't.
Yeah.
But you know, I wasn't here. I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
but I do
one
want
of the biggest complaints in the past was the housing development was trying to go in and the neighborhood didn't want a house.
Oh, that was what's her name?
Hollis and Bernice.
Hollis, yeah.
Hollis and Bernice.
Yep.
And that's why Bernice is so hot on all this.
Right. But again, that really wasn't a complaint about us. They're wanting us to stop something. But the housing people were following all the rules, and we couldn't just. It was kind of a different complaint. They didn't want them there. The other people were following the rules. So,
I do want to ask you just one more thing. So it's about Mr. Cutter's recent actions online attacking
right.
the tribal sluts and Mr. Todd Swift.
That's hearsay. I mean, it truly is. Todd Swift is on there, and he apologized. Todd is on there. The tribal thing.
The point of my question is, at the beginning of this, he was saying he was investigating Tyann at the council's word.
Right.
You're standing by that.
in December, we told them we had a meeting. It's on. If you go to our meeting notes, you'll see in our December of 2024. Where he asked us, what do you want me to do with all this information I'm getting that these people are calling in?
It's awful.
And I said, you know what? We're not an investigating agency. Take everything that you have and submit it. If you get any more, just keep submitting it.
Okay.
And so we never told them how far to go. So, you know, and that's why we won't have a meeting. You know, did we, was 4 emails too much? Was it, you know, we don't.
See, and that's the point. I've had people, especially recently, accusing me of being very badgery.
Right.
I'm not going to deny
Sorry.
it.
Yeah.
I apologize.
I wasn't even talking about you. I wasn't even talking about you, Robert.
Well, I did say something about the camera in my face.
I'm not afraid to stand in front of it either here. I'm really not. Okay. But I don't hold a public office.
Right.
I don't have the weight of an entire community pressing on my shoulders to maintain my composure. So you're saying that you guys never necessarily gave them a stop point.
Exactly. We told them,
Okay.
pursue it, send it all in.
So multiple letters to the tribe, to the district attorney, and to the sheriff's office. Can I get you to say maybe that was just a little too
How
much?
many's multiple? Do you know how many's multiple?
I don't know. I
You
mean,
just said 4.
What's that for?
was there, I don't know, was there 4? I can't remember exactly how many. I know there was a lot. I've seen them.
There
I
was a lot.
haven't, so that's why I'm asking.
So I don't know. I don't, and that's what we were discussing. That's why we wanted to have a meeting, because we all had different ideas. What's too much? What's too much? We don't know, and so we're like, maybe we need to come up with an idea of, you know, at what point, you know, it's too much. I mean, I understand, you know, you have an issue where someone's getting away with something, and you know that we feel that needs to be dealt with.
If there was substantial evidence to turn into the district attorney, I can't blame you guys for doing that.
Well, and the DA, you know, they, like she'll tell you, if the people don't want to press the charges, it makes it very difficult for us to go after someone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, they seen the check, they know it was cashed, they seen the bank records where it got taken out in cash, they seen where it took 6 months to pay it back with the money. But if the tribe doesn't want to, and the tribe is, you know, they just don't want to get involved.
I'm going to speak on behalf. I'm Native American. I'm Cowlitz. Your tribe your council goofs up. Trust me, we attack. I mean, I'm in our Facebook chat of our Cowlitz Indian. Our council can't do anything wrong, right most of the time. You know, they do one little mistake, they don't want to be attacked by their crime.
Right.
And I think, wasn't there a big thing a while back where there's like a ton of money missing?
Yes.
And I think it was like 500,000. It was a huge.
That's a lot,
if
yeah.
you look back,
Okay.
and I'm thinking personally, they don't want to get that on. So it's like,
They don't wanna
we
do
got
it
our money
again.
back. Let's just wash it. And for us, it's like, okay,
And they got their money back.
And for me,
Sometimes that is easier. I mean,
but the kids never got it because it was supposed to go toward the kids. I would have liked it if they would have took the money back and took that money and reissued it to the 4-H. That would have made me happy. Then I said, okay, at least the kids got it. But ultimately, it was for archery equipment and enrollment, I think. And they never got it. And so that's what I'm upset about. It's like, it was for the
that
kids.
sounds like a valid
It
concern
was
to me.
there for the kids, and they actually never got it. So that's what's upsetting. It's not about putting someone in jail or it's just accountability. It's like, if it's supposed to go to the kids, I expect it to go to the kids.
Right. No, definitely. That doesn't matter. I was going to say, you always give free lunch to the kids.
True that.
But so there's a lot. But no, we're definitely going to talk and just see because I think it's, we all have different ideas of, what is too much, what is not enough.
The sad part about being up in the city, in front of the office, you see me. Customers that come in, I can't tell you how many people have come in and say, oh, she's finally getting caught. She's done this to us. She's done that to us. So it's not even just what we know. It's other people saying, I'm so glad this is finally happening. That's really hard to hear over and over again, and then nothing happens.
No, I totally get that. In my journey of journalism, seeking government accountability and transparency, I have people tell me their bad experiences that happen to them from the government, and nothing has ever happened.
But you can't do anything
But
with them.
then
It's just them saying things.
Right.
We can't take hearsay anywhere. This was physical written proof.
And again, if I got turned into VA and it went nowhere, I would say that you guys did all you could.
Yep.
Yep.
That's
And that's
what
pretty much where we're at. We're like, we did all we could. I mean, if people keep asking, why is it keep being brought up? Why is it keep being brought up?
Have you looked at Facebook?
Yeah. And a lot of it, and I'm not, people say we hate the mayor. I do not hate the mayor. I work great with her as a council member when she's on council.
Exactly.
But the problem is she's said, well, if I get rid of this council, I'm going to bring beachcombers back in. And they're going to run the Wednesday market again.
And she's literally not following code. What is it?
Yeah. And she's contacted our attorney, and it's costed.
She's cost money to the city.
And it clearly says you must have the council's permission to contact, so we all have to discuss it. But at the end of the day, that's why we're pushing. Like, we don't want that coming back into our city. As of right now, the Wednesday market, we still don't know where any of that money went. There's no record of it. 3 years the beachcombers running it. And
That's interesting.
and if you add it up, it's $10,000, $15,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd all that money go? So
They charge $5.
I think they charge 15 to 25.
I think that,
So at the end of the day, we're just like, we're just done. We're just, but if she keeps pushing them to come back in, and that's why we're pushing harder, saying, no, we're not going to allow it. There's too much questionability
too much
going
history.
on. So, and that's the whole thing. It's
So you're feeling once bitten, twice shy on it.
Yes.
yeah, all right. Yeah.
Yes.
And I was like, what are our community members going to think if they come back in and then all of a sudden all this money comes up missing? Or, then we're going to look like idiots. You allowed this, So it's like, okay, that's why we thought we had it done with before the mayor came on. We're like, no, we're not going to renew your contract for the Wednesday market. We're done with this.
It was done.
We're done. You walk away, we walk away.
Especially with audits being such a hot topic in the city, you don't want to intimidate yourself.
Right. No.
That's all. And trust me, I wish those dang things would get done.
Well, and I wish that
Oh my
I wish
God.
that the true history of the guy, the auditor before that we had to let go. We didn't want to let him go too soon because we needed that year he was working on done. He had all of the records.
It would have taken too long to switch persons.
Right. But he used the COVID excuse. He used my partner has left. I think he passed away. It's just me now. I mean, Dan was checking constantly with this guy, and there was excuse after excuse after excuse. So as soon as that was done, he was let go. But of course, on Facebook, they're saying he quit us.
Yeah.
That is not true. He was let go.
The reason we don't have our audit now is because we have all kinds of financial fraud going on, and that's why I want to make sure. And that's, in fact, I was one of the ones. I think Susan was too. I emailed Dan and said, I think we need to get a letter from the company, not you speaking. We need to get a letter from our auditing company to put out to the public, because people are thinking, it's you, and so.
On the topic of financial fraud, I'm remembering my conversations and viewing Jay Larson come in here. Okay. Now then, correct me if I'm wrong in remembering this, Jay Larson says that Dan Cutter told him to add the materials budget to pay themselves. And then at the end of the meeting, I asked Dan, is that what happened? He didn't deny it.
Right.
No, what the conversation was, because my husband's a contractor. When you go out and you're getting all these bids and stuff, you're working. Can I mark up for my work done?
Material.
On getting the materials.
10, 20% markup is
Yes,
standard.
that was the conversation. Can I mark up for going and doing it done? Came down to he couldn't even buy the materials. Nobody would sell the materials to him. The city had to get an account and buy materials. The city had to pay off both of the concrete companies because he couldn't do it.
And that's why when Heidi asked, said, oh, there's, collusion order, she said there, we're like, okay, before we go to that, we need to see, so right after that meeting, we got a hold of it and said, we need every document sent to every one of us. So Heidi's got it, so we have his contract, all the notes, and we started going through, and sure enough, it says in there about marking up. You can mark up your material, common markup. But then I asked him, I go, how come we started buying all the material? He said, because we're doing the deals. And vendors started calling and said, nope, you've got to pay us directly now. So
we had to make
that's new information to me here. So.
Well, and that's why the whole thing got, everybody said, what happened? Where's the investigation? At the end of the day, we went through all the emails, all of us did.
And all the receipts.
And he even asked him, well, what about this? And Dan wrote that, well, you're going to have employees. It's got to be BOLA. You have to do this, this, and this. And he said, well, I'm not going to have any employees in. And so we said, okay.
It's a lot of paperwork and headache to deal with prevailing wage.
But
But I've had prevailing wage. It's kind of nice to get.
But that's when they stand around there.
I've always noticed.
I always got new shovels as a contractor for a while. And
But
I love my new shovels.
He made that mistake in the meeting, though. He said, we asked him. He said, yeah, I had employees. I paid them out of pocket. Now that's on you now. Now, the contract clearly states no employees. And you just admitted if Bola or whoever was to get a hold of that meeting minutes, they're going to come back on him. So, but.
It's a very sticky situation because I think there's probably blame on both sides of that conversation, honestly, from my opinion. If Dan is agreeing to pay him or his people, whatever the case may be, by padding the materials budget, that's Dan making the suggestion.
That's not
He didn't say anything about it. He just said, he goes, how can I make money? I think is what he said in one of the emails. You're allowed to mark up on the material.
And that is legally true.
Yeah. And
my husband has
and that's where he's getting padding. He talked about padding, which is, I do the same thing. I mean, everyone who does a contractor. It was just, but we wanted to make sure we read everything before we grilled Dan at that meeting. It's like, okay, it was just brought up, but we haven't seen anything, and so I want to see all the documentation before I said anything. And that's why nothing's come about it, because we all looked at it and said, oh, yeah, this is pretty clear. And then it was asked, what do we do?
And you're talking about the contract we did the park, right?
So we at the end, we said, you know what? Let's not go after his bond. Let's not go after.
Okay.
Let's just wash our hands. Hey, let's not go after him.
Yeah.
Let's just call it a mutual mistake. And he admits, he says, I should never took this job. It was too big. I didn't realize it was this big.
And that did sound like part of it.
Yeah. So we just said, we're not going to go after his bond. We're not going to. Let's just cut ties, and that's what we did.
And he's out some labor, and you guys took the project.
Yeah, the concrete you got to fix, and then we fixing all that. So it's but at the end of the day,
because the concrete failed.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that he did do failed and has to be pulled out.
And he did it. He goes, I'm not a concrete guy. Which my question was,
Yeah.
then why'd you bid on a concrete job, and you say you're not a concrete guy?
Okay.
That is one of the things that
so
raises
you
the little
probably
red
know
flag
Jay
in the back of my
from
head.
buying
Is,
There you go.
He put it right in
generally
writing.
speaking,
He
people
has
don't
two
do
of
things
those
for free.
things.
They have some sort of
Not allowed in
motivation,
city
right?
limits.
Well, and that's what
We're
I
out of
understand.
the
And
I know,
we had the
but
contractor
you're not allowed.
Yeah.
that referred him. He thought it was going to be some big kudos. Hey, get his name out there. He's doing all this free stuff for the city.
Crazy. But
Blah,
then
blah.
if
He's
you
going to
have
give
them
some
at their
kudos. But,
building
you
they
know,
have it.
so,
They could also live on the
I mean, a
property.
tax write-off and some kudos is something.
It's like-
yeah,
No doubt.
but at the end of the day, you know, there's a lot of concrete,
Yeah.
not a concrete guy.
You know,
And a very
so-
big job, and a lot of
But
materials
I
that got
think
added.
Yep.
I hear a lot
Yeah,
about.
so it's just, I mean, we ended up
Yeah, I saw that.
buying all the stuff and having, you know, to pay the victim concrete people, so we ended up doing all that stuff, getting the rebar, getting this, and we just, you know, out of all the vendors, that's the only one so far. So.
I find the
But
best way to
we've had
get
a lot of vendors
information
come in
is
and
not
want to
to
help
buy.
out, so we're hoping.
Okay.
Yeah, I
And I'm
hope
gonna
it
go
gets
in there
turned around and gets fixed up.
See what they're saying.
But at least we're not, like,
I'm
that's
gonna
why I
try
want to make sure we're over
copies.
budget.
I don't know what you guys
We're
are
still
doing.
good, so. But yeah, I mean, you have those things happen, just like the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And we
See, I
hired an
don't know any
engineer
of this. I'm
company,
Sean.
did everything.
And I don't know none of this.
And then
but
they started doing the
5
sidewalk,
years,
started digging, and the ground was really
this
soft.
and
They
don't
dig
do
down like
this and,
40
you know, the city's ripping me off and
and
I'm
we're
thinking,
like,
oh,
so then the
whoa,
engineers had to come out.
whoa,
They had to,
whoa,
what are we
whoa.
going to
Let's
do?
back up just a
The engineer missed it.
You know, it's like the sewer.
So we ended up,
You know,
they had to,
did they
well,
use
we're going to
the
gravel
grant, the 2.1
and
million to
gravel
put it in
and
from the
pack
high
it,
school
test it, gravel pack it, test it, gravel
or are
pack
they
it.
still
And
holding
so-
off on
Eventually it'll stop sinking.
So some things, and then they even put some
Okay,
drain lines
see,
in. So things come up, you know, on a job, and
So-
so like, you know, say, okay, what do we got to do with this?
So, when it
So
comes
yeah,
in,
it's
in the
everything.
bundle,
You know, contracts
it's 300 feet from the property.
always
from where
something's
we are.
always going to come up.
We
And
want to
so
hook up.
when I seen that online, we're behind on all.
Yeah, that's what it comes
We're
down
not
to.
behind on anything.
And that's,
And I
that's,
tried to
that's,
ask the question. and all
that's
the
the ultimate
sidewalks
goal.
took,
But
you know,
we were really
5
disappointed that it
years.
didn't go further.
That was the
We were
bid process.
disappointed.
It wasn't behind on contracts, you know.
Some things just move at a governmental
Well,
plate.
yeah, you know, because everyone
Right,
bid
so
on it.
I don't think
Everyone
the
wants
2.1
sidewalks.
million
And
going for
they
that
told us
particular
last time,
sewer
oh, you almost got it.
I think it's supposed to
The
go
one that won
down
it,
the hill drain
they had an
and
engineering
across.
study done, and you didn't. So Dan said,
And across
let's get our engineering. So we did our engineering study. Then we bid it again, and then we won it. And so
Well, yeah, but that's down
bids
below.
just like you were saying
Stuff's
today,
gotta be pumped
we
up
missed
and
the
pumped up.
one bid by 2 points. So
That part I understand.
And I do want to say this. It does seem like Dan does bring in a lot of grant money for the city.
he's very good at bringing grant. You gotta know how to do it. It's a difficult process.
I know Newport hired a specific person to be a grant writer.
He
That
did
is
a
their
lot
job.
of that. I wish you worked for Field or whatever.
line of
So
other people to do it.
he knows how to do all
All
that.
that.
So,
And
he's
calling
right.
people down the street still.
The last city manager
right? Okay. They're putting
might have
homes, they're
brought
putting the property for sale because they're no longer.
hardly anyone get the forest.
You know where Dahl Avenue goes? Okay. And then it turns.
Got some mailboxes like the township.
Okay, so you
Because
pass.
they're all on the street.
Yeah, you pass Coast Equipment, you turn on
Been
Dahl.
on the press line or up on there.
Is that what that
They
is?
just, people stop at
Where the
hats
towing
are
yards
down,
are
check them
cars
out.
now?
That's the
Okay.
industrial.
Okay, so
it's metal boxes.
the property there is no longer
Which will help township,
considered
it'd be great.
affordable property.
Dan
Right, I know it all changed. I'm watching this. I'm
Dan called,
just because you know where I work.
So we try to do what we can, but
Okay, we've just put
it's
that place
hard.
up for
It's
sale.
just, everything's coming at us left and right. It's like,
Oh, but he's
you see all these things online, it's totally not true. Like the 5 years of complaining. Where the hell they come from? Anybody can go online and look, right? You know, but people
Yeah, I
see
try
that.
not to spout bullshit, but
People see that, but it's like that on both sides. You know, it doesn't matter. You know,
Oh, yeah, well,
people
he
think
had
it,
it.
people just believe
Trying to
it.
buy it
Like,
when he first bought the property.
it's not true. That's not
Okay,
how
so
it
he's
happened.
been trying to
you
buy
know.
this thing for
It's
15
like,
years.
you didn't investigate
Okay, it's
it.
not
Yeah,
like
it
you
was
just
like-
jumped into it a couple years
We have
ago.
not published it yet. We did investigate. We had a 2-hour meeting where we went through the whole thing.
You know, and he paid the price. Okay, he bought so the 5 blocks there now.
What about
Buying a lot we want.
Explain this to us.
Still owned by.
But yeah, so I think they need to be republished.
Okay, so I'm trying. I mean, I can go on.
That would help.
The press. There we go.
I would personally appreciate it if you would make a motion for that.
Yeah.
Or next month.
Yeah. So no, it's but no, it's like I said.
So, you know, we're
trying to be.
You can even try to do the deal now for
We
3
get
years.
thrown out and stuff all the time.
You know.
Oh, you're writing up stuff. Nothing to do with the audits. It's like,
And why not?
that's why we said, Dan, no more of us. You need to get a letter.
Oh, yes, yes.
People might believe the letter from the company versus
Besides, you know, all the property deals.
I'm sure
So
they won't
what
like
people
that
don't
either.
see is
Where, you know, having Dan twist legal words with me, I would trust a third-party letter more than his word myself.
every 3 months.
To be frank.
So yeah, so I mean, you know, it's a hard. I mean, you know, like this letter. I love
your
that.
property.
I understand, you know, and you know, it's frustrating. No one's
Well,
going to prosecute.
he wants to retire by
Wait,
selling.
Is it really worth 4 or 5 letters?
Look at the
emails?
sewer.
Was that a little too much? I mean,
5 blocks says that it's got the
it's
sewer.
like that, you know. True, we've never got
Well, when it gets
anything from the
in
tribe.
300 feet from our property, Okay,
But you don't
so
want
all we gotta do is
bad
get
interview
permission
with
from
them
Dawn
either.
to go down to
But
his.
neighbors.
Yeah. And the contract with the sheriff.
You know where the
that
storage
was
you
actually,
got there?
I read his.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
That- you know,
Yeah.
That wasn't. So what he was saying is,
Oh no, these guys are good friends.
you have people here that are backing his contract.
And so Bob's, you know,
And
but
I
Bob,
will
he,
back- I
he's
will,
he's
she
from
did a
Alaska.
radio,
He
she
went
did
up there and
a-
he sold.
she did a radio interview.
You know,
And in there
Bob
she
and I
says,
had a
if
big
I would
piece
have
of
been,
property when
on,
it was
yeah,
cheap.
if I would have been on
Sold it,
council,
expensive rate.
you're fine. If I would have been on council,
10 years later,
that would have never got approved.
the people abandoned
And
the
she said
property.
it right on the
got it
radio show.
back.
Right, I think I did watch
the
that.
sheriff, that's what he was saying. He's all, you have people that
Oh,
who
God,
like
no,
this
it was
contract,
But you know,
but
you
yet
say that. but
you're going to allow people to
girlfriend
come in
killed their own.
that don't want this contract
She
and
was one of
they
them-
want to
she
do
was
away
one
with this
of them
contract.
called Mindy.
It wasn't him.
Lost.
It wasn't him. He was basically saying, if she gets her way, she'll cancel this contract. And we're like, yeah, it's the wording. It's all about how you word things. And so that's what he was saying in the letter. Is
Murder investigation.
we all agreed with it.
Unsolved?
Dan's agreed with it, but she did not like the
Of course, he was
contract.
the first
She-
suspect.
I still don't know why. I tried to ask
500
her.
miles away in another town.
Why would you
when
not
it
want the
happened.
sheriff's contract?
And the cops went right to where he was,
I
you
don't
know.
know.
And
You know,
they-
I'm trying to remember here because
and it's actually
there might have been an official letter between the council that I'm not aware of. I'm going off of what I saw on Facebook, and it.
So there was a talking about the sheriff contract.
Yeah, and it you know, I'm not remembering it well enough to speak on it
So,
right now.
so basically, and I'll dig it up for you. I'll link it to you. But it's basically we went through the negotiations and we tried to come down off the money, and they came back and said,
And the three
we're done
lots that you're looking at,
negotiating.
if you're looking
We can't
standing
come
there,
down
you're
anymore.
looking at the road,
Here are your
you
three
can watch
options:
it, right?
either don't accept
And
it,
that's how you
Guy
got
came in, he
to
was gonna develop
splitting
it.
it with. Okay, yeah.
don't accept it, keep it like it is, which is splitting it, or increasing it and adding an additional officer. Well, we don't have the money, so we're like, it's either nothing or keep it like it is. We might as well keep it like it is. Hopefully, we can work with Yahats to pay us some more money, and because they just pay a little bit, but if they could pay more money, then we could get a bigger
Between
contract.
the two of you, you have 1.5 positions.
Yep. And
So
they
like
just kind of
60
go.
hours a week.
Yeah, and some people say, well, yeah, but the sheriff's required to go to calls. You're right, but they're not required to be here. There's been, I used to be a firefighter, so I know there's been several calls. Okay, we're ETAs, 27 minutes from Newport.
Right, that's a long drive. I mean, I got to plan my day to get here on time.
Or like, when there's an ambulance accident a
And
couple
I'm
years
sure,
ago.
I've seen them parked down here at the end of town at the school zone during school.
Yeah.
School. I'm sure the community at large appreciates
Yeah,
it.
They do.
for
I wish they
me
get more
either.
tickets. They give a lot of warning.
There you go.
We get a report. We get 3 tickets and 67 warnings. Really?
I'm actually not going to be mad about that. That sounds more like community policing than.
And that's what they say. They say, we're more about education. And I understand that, but I was like, but most of your tickets and most of your warnings are up on Crestline right at the school. How many warnings can you give? I mean, but
I can see that perspective too.
then
Where,
there's,
maybe.
they get favoritism, like Judge, what's his name, McCrum. He got pulled over. He got pulled over right in front of my house, and I'm out there watching. Go, sorry, Your Honor.
Oh, it's
have a good day.
Interesting.
Well, he was a judge here.
I'm dealing
He's an
with
attorney.
There's a law office.
Like I said, I had
Bridging
6.
and McComb.
Yep.
So I actually was just dealing with Judge Pridgen over a delinquent ticket. They're not
I
saying
seen your video.
Yeah, they did say
They lost the. They didn't have no audio or nothing.
Talking to him anyway. Him.
after they told me I could not record my procession. There was no discussion of whether it was video or audio. They just said no. I asked, is there a form? Is there something I fill out? I showed up like a half hour, 45 minutes before that thing. I was trying to be real respectful. No, there's no form. There's no form. And I do just a little bit of research. And there's a form. So
Yeah, no, we used to have traffic court here. So any tickets that got here,
You don't buy
we
the
would go to
car.
court here.
Okay,
We did away with that because
The second time I did the same.
there was really no money in it. The work that they had to do all the traffic tickets. So.
Did not mean to insult you in any way. And I know it came off harsh, but I had just gone through that 12 bullet points of people slamming me, and you got the blame with it.
that's fair. That's fair. And you're not wrong. Maybe I do think it's a little too lighthearted with others. And I'll try to work on that.
But anyway, I'm gonna get out of here and we'll go eat. But I'll touch base with you.
All right. Look forward to your message.
See you later.